Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 13 of Stay at Home with me. Today, we're going to be taking orders from my Fitbit. I'm sure a lot of you have a Fitbit and have had them for a long time. Mine just tends to make noises at me, and I just kind of follow the general guidelines, like I'm supposed to hit 8,000 steps a day. I set it down from 10,000 because I lived on a very small island, and taking 10,000 steps was just not practical. And then it tells me to get up and take 200 steps this hour and stuff like that. So you're probably used to your Fitbit giving you these little warnings. But today, we're going to do what my Fitbit wants, when my Fitbit wants it. If my Fitbit says get up and take 250 steps, we're going to get up and take 250 steps. If my Fitbit says you're going to walk 8,000 steps today, I'm going to walk 8,000 steps. So today, the Fitbit is the boss, and we are going to listen to the Fitbit. So it's going on 9:30, which means my Fitbit is going to start barking orders at me. I've told it that it's allowed to order me around from 9:30 in the morning. So yeah, here we go, listening to the Fitbit. It is 10:14. I have walked 1,375 steps. I've got 13 minutes of active time, and I have walked 0.64 of a mile. I have met 1 out of 8 of my exercise goals. Due to chronic pain and stuff, I have only 8 exercise goals. So I think the only reason that I met 1 out of 8 exercise goals this morning was just because I was sweeping up the cat room, and that takes a lot of steps to go from upstairs to downstairs, from upstairs to downstairs. But yay, 1 out of 8 exercise goals met. One of the problems pole dancers have with Fitbit is that it doesn't do any of your strength. It only does your cardio. So no matter how many of these I do, my Fitbit still says I've only done 13 minutes of exercise. My Fitbit is yelling at me and telling me I need to go get more steps. So I need to go and get 157 more steps for the hour. I was in a group call with my friends doing a little bit of Zoom friend chatting with some of my closest friends, but the Fitbit orders me to go, so I go. Getting on my jandals, my flip-flops, my thongs, whatever we want to call them. I'm going to get 157 more steps. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I have to count them. But I think my Fitbit will tell me when I'm done and I've reached my goal. Come on, show me my pretty award. Stepped 250 out of 250 for the hour. Woohoo! Go me. Back I go to my house. To my Facebook. It's kind of cold out today. Your Fitbit will give you an estimation of how many calories it thinks you burn per day based off something it calculates called a basal metabolic rate. Now that takes your height and your weight and calculates the amount of calories you burn per day doing absolutely nothing. And then, since the Fitbit measures your activity, it adds how many calories it thinks you burn during each activity on top of that. Now, I don't really like using this function, mainly because I think it puts too much emphasis on calorie counting instead of activity and getting out there and doing things. Maintaining your weight or weight gain or weight loss is not so simple as calories in versus calories out. I mean, we all have a different metabolism. Each of our metabolism works at different rates and in different ways. And there can be people who exercise a lot and diet a lot and really try to lose weight but just can't. And if they're having that problem, they shouldn't be consulting their Fitbit. They should be consulting their doctor, because there are a large number of very dangerous conditions that can lead to people just not being able to lose weight no matter how much they exercise. I don't want to judge my fitness in how well I'm eating and how well I'm exercising based off an accessory. We're just not really gonna pay attention to that today, because I'm not gonna measure my food and measure my calories, mainly because I think it's really unhealthy. I met my goal for last hour of walking 250 steps, but it still says that I only have 13 minutes of activity out of 30, so my goal was 30. So let's go get another 15 minutes of activity. We are starting this walk with 13 minutes of activity. And 2,491 steps. So I have just walked up a very big hill, and my Fitbit only says I'm active for 13 minutes still. Today we are going to walk this trail, which runs along the side of this lake. So let's get my steps in. Let's make my Fitbit happy. Fitbit, you are boss today. At the start of the trail, my Fitbit is saying we've done 3,532 steps. I've forgotten how much I like this trail. It has a lot of nice moss. I really like moss. Get back to the edge of the trail. The trail is about a half a mile long, but my Fitbit doesn't seem to think that I've been active. So we'll see what it looks like when we get back to the house. Look, it's victory. It says I've been active 30 minutes. Woohoo! I went on like a 20-minute walk, which would be like a feasible walk that you could do in your lunchtime if you were working. My Fitbit has some interesting things to say. It says I've been on 5,190 steps. We're skipping that part. And I've done 40 minutes of my daily activities. I have still not reached my step goal. So I guess we gotta keep going. So I have done 25 minutes of walk. I've done 25 minutes on the pole. And you know what? My Fitbit still isn't happy with me. According to Sir Fitbit, I have done 5,602 steps. I have done, don't care about calories, 40 minutes of exercise, and I have walked 2.59 miles. It says I have only hit 6 out of 8 hours of my 250 per hour steps. I don't know what this thing wants from me. I think that one of the big things is just pole. It doesn't even register pole as an exercise. I can be hanging down, I can be, poling for an hour, and it won't even register it as a step, because the step counter is based off your arm movement. So, I guess I have, 2 more hour goals to hit, so I guess we keep trying. Here we go. My Fitbit says that I need to get another 232 steps. All right. Fitbit's the boss. We're gonna go for another walk. And then can I please get in my jammies and have a shower? I'm not even gonna bother putting on my shoes for this one. All right. out the door. Oh, it looks like it's gonna rain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't want to walk anymore. I want to take a shower and put on my jammies because it's quarantine and life is irrelevant, and whose idea was it anyways, and maybe I'm not getting out enough during this quarantine. My Fitbit's given me award 200 out of 250 out of 250 for this hour. Woohoo! See? He's celebrating for me. Since I'm out and it's getting a little cold, I'm just gonna see if I can knock out my step goal. So we're gonna go around the loop and back to my house. Here's some neighborhood azaleas. I really like azaleas. I think they're so pretty. From another walk, and I still haven't hit my step goal. I've just had a shower because I was covered in pulled chalk and because it's the apocalypse. And I'm gonna go and feed my fish, and I am up to 7,000 steps so far today. So I don't know. Will we make it to 8,000? Maybe. Who knows? Not sure. 7,402. And I am not going to go outside because I'm in my jammies. So I am just going to be walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in my house. So, not that one. So I have done 54 minutes of activity. There are a few fundamental problems in Fitbit, mainly what it considers active. It can't really sense a whole lot. It can't sense weightlifting. It can't sense pull. So what it senses as activity is just walking, running, and swimming, which is a little bit problematic depending on what you consider your daily exercise. And I know that some people like low impact exercises. So if you're someone who wants to get your exercise through yoga or, pole or Pilates or something, then a Fitbit isn't actually going to track how active you are during the day. I find that they are way too focused on calories and caloric intake. They're way too focused on cardio. It's not necessarily good. Back when I was working at an office job, so I was running statistics on my computer all day, my Fitbit was a really helpful tool to help remind me to get up, to stretch, to go into the kitchen and make a cup of tea, to go for a walk at lunch. And it would remind me to get activity into what would be a normally sedentary day. But now that I do all of my workouts in a gym multiple times a week, it's not super good at gauging my activity level. So, pros: good if you're living a relatively sedentary lifestyle and you need a reminder to get up and moving. Cons: not good for many different types of activities. And also, too focused on calories. So, some serious problematic things. 10,000 steps. You would have to be walking like almost all day, every day. So their goals are kind of a little unachievable and not feasible for the average person. All right, everyone, it is 6:30 and I did it. I got my 8,000 steps in. Here we go, 8,024 steps. I walked 3.72 miles. I got 54 minutes of active exercise, and I hit 8 out of 8 of my hourly goals. Those are you walked 250 steps in this hour. Overall, I feel like it was a real mission. Like, not something that you could do casually every day. But there we go. I win Fitbit. Woohoo! Well, that's been another day of stay at home with me. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.